Despite Fitness, and today is actually going to be kind of fun. I was approached by a couple of guys that I'm going through school with right now, and they wanted to go and talk about some bench stuff. So basically, you're going to put them through a workout, check out how they bench and kind of how they do what they do, and then we'll kind of go from there and see what I can see. So real quick, I just want to go ahead and introduce. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Clayton.
And?
Mike.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, basically today we're just going to be kind of taking them through some stuff, checking out form, making some corrections, seeing what it does for them, and then we're also just going to kind of put them through a general workout just to switch things up for them as well. So stay tuned. Like the video, thumbs up, and if you haven't subbed, I wish you would. All right, here we go. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I wanna talk to the guys and figure out kind of where they feel like their weaknesses are, just for that sense of perspective from them. And then we're gonna see what they do in terms of the performance of a few reps without any correction at all. And then we'll see what we can see, if there's anything or any room to make some suggestions. So, what do you think your problem area is?
I know for me personally, once I get above like 225, once I pick up the weight, I know I go from a good controlled like pinched feeling, and I open up my lats and kind of spread my back, and I lose that stability. Okay. So that's where I know I struggle.
Okay. What about you? Where do you feel like you struggle?
For me, it's when I lift off and I come back, I kind of feel like I roll back a little far, so it comes further on my chest, and it just, after that, it just kind of ruins it.
Okay, so stability is kind of an issue for you guys. All right, so from here, I'm gonna check out a couple of their reps, and then we'll just see what we see, and we'll go from there. Here we go.
Low control, lockout. Or
just bench however you bench. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to see you perform, and then I'll just, by looking at you, try to make some assessments.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, not bad. All right, Mike's turn. Okay, so based on watching you guys, so when I watch you, right, we have a decent setup in terms of, it looks like your body position's all right. I didn't see the feet moving around a lot. So the thing to remember when you guys are performing the bench press or really any other movement is any unintended movement, you're gonna be bleeding energy. So if you start moving your feet around, right, there's a problem, which is what I saw with you, Mike. The feet were moving around a bit. So you wanna make sure that those feet are in a good stable position. One of the ways that I kind of try to bring that into as a cue or as an idea is like if you and I were gonna fight, would you wanna stand on ice when you fought me? No, because you don't have the traction to be able to deliver power and throw, punch, whatever else. Same. When the feet are moving around, you're losing that traction. Both of you have your elbows flared, quite a lot. So when you have those elbows flared out more that 90-degree kind of an angle from the body, it's a lot of strain on the shoulder and the pec, right? So it puts a lot of strain and tension on there. A more optimal arm position is more like a 45-degree. So when you see me perform my bench press, I'm in a much more tucked position, and that kind of protects the shoulders a bit. So when both of you talked about, you believe part of your issue is some stability. So the setup is really important. So you have to imagine that the part that you're pressing from, where you're moving here, that's where you want the movement, and that's where you want to pack in the most stability and power. So one of the ways that you guys can practice getting some of that stability and power is to build it in around that spot, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that. So for your setup, if you get your feet up on the bench like this, and elect your position, wherever you're gonna elect your position, what you want to do is you want to retract and depress the shoulders. So this is shoulder protraction, this is shoulder retraction. You see the difference? Now look at the difference between where my hands are compared to my chest. If you imagine I had a barbell in my hand. So depressed and retracted versus protracted, right? It's a lot of shoulder movement. Yeah. Okay, so if you retract and depress the shoulder blades, squeeze them tight like you're gonna pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. You get your position, your hand position, wherever you're gonna bench from, wherever you're comfortable. like this, and then you bring one foot down, and then you bring the other foot down. And you see how majorly my upper body up here didn't really move? So I've packed in the tightness here, and then I'm screwing my feet and I'm pushing this way with leg drive. Leg drive is so much that if you were to not be holding the bar, then you would scoot off the end of the bench. That's how hard you want to be driving. So leg drive is super tight, and you're kind of wound up like a screw or a spring. So nice and tight. You see those legs tight on me now? Right? Feet are in position, hands are in position. Big breath. Now you see when I perform the bench, how tight my arms are to my sides.
Yeah.
My arms aren't flaring. So, but my arms will flare when I come touch the chest and I begin to drive, and the shoulders open up and flare out, or the elbows open up and flare out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because the bar path, the optimal bar path, straight down to the chest, and then as you press, you pop up toward the chin and drive. So it looks like kind of like a J from the side. So from the chest toward the face and up. That's optimal bar path. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Couple of cues. Let's see how they do with a bit of a correction. So you have that butt up, you're stacked up on the neck, pulling those shoulder blades back and in. You feel that tightness? Yep. You feel like you can pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades? Yep. You want to keep that. Now Mike, I want you to give him a lift off, because when you do this, I want those shoulders to stay back. So instead of lifting off yourself and protracting those shoulders and losing that position, you stay. Legs tight, big breath. Good. Good. How did that feel in comparison to how you did before?
I don't remember what you called it, but I had to keep my shoulders down.
Yep.
I felt like my range of motion was shorter, and it was a more compact movement.
Right.
Okay.
Right, so what we do is we build in stability. Instead of having that shoulder joint opened up and kind of exposed, we tighten everything down and build in some stability. So that way you have a better press point, right? So more stability from which to press from, and that correlates to a better, more comfortable bench, and also ends up leading to a higher bench press. All right, so.
I definitely felt like getting my butt off the bench, because
Yeah.
I sat there with my butt on the bench. I didn't really feel it, and then when I lifted my butt up and I felt it push down my neck,
Right.
I felt the difference doing it that way.
Right. So stacking up in that position, what you're doing is you're putting the stability, or you're putting the pressure on that press point. Because right up on your shoulders where you're stacking is where you're delivering the power from, and to be able to bench. You're getting that stability from the bench itself, yes? So when you tighten up the stability around that spot, you have a little bit better mechanical advantage from which to press from. So let's try with you now. Let's see how you do it. What's up, Bo? All right, so in this, bring the feet up, good. Lift up that butt and stack. We'll stack right up on your neck. There you go. Now bring those shoulders back in. Imagine like you're gonna be trying to pinch my finger, right? You feel that? So you're retracting and depressing the shoulder blades. Okay, good. 1 foot down, 1 foot down. Now before you unwrap, big breath, and I want you to hold the breath. Give me 3 good reps. Don't breathe. Good. How do those feel?
Definitely felt easier. Felt it more in my chest than I had been, like in my shoulders, like you were talking about.
Right.
And more stable.
Okay.
So range of motion was definitely closer.
Right.
It wasn't overstraining to get the rep out.
Right. So what we've done with these guys here is taken from what they normally bench, and this is the kind of a standard bench that I see with a lot of just average lifters, right? And I don't mean average in an insulting manner. I just mean that they're not necessarily pursuing powerlifting, right? They're just kind of a gym goer, wanting to be generally stronger, but not necessarily looking to compete. By changing up the form and moving things around and creating tightness and stability, we can definitely increase their mechanics and increase their 1 rep max like today. So this is definitely something that if you're at home and you have kind of a similar bench pattern as they had when we first started, these couple of quick cues are a really good way to improve your mechanics and improve your overall bench like immediately. All right, we're gonna run through a little bit more and see what we see, and kind of go from there. So here we go. It's gonna hit a 10 reps with 225. Big setup, there you go. Screw those feet in, bring that butt down, keep that chest high. Big breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, drive with the legs. 8, 9, good. 10, good. So reps 8 and 9 were better, I'm sorry, 9 and 10 were better than 8. So when I said, use your legs, I saw the power off the chest. Did you feel the difference?
It definitely felt easier if I was getting lightheaded or what, but yeah, I didn't think about driving my legs until you said it. Yeah.
Right. So the legs are super important, and that's like one thing you can't forget with bench press is the importance of the leg drive. Because if you stay tight like that and you can kick those legs and get that a little bit, it can help you pop off the chest and get that initial power to be able to carry you through the sticking point. Because really the limiting factor is the point of minimum available force, right? And that's that point where those triceps begin to take over. That's the point in the movement where you're the weakest. So if you can increase the power up to and through that point of minimum available force, you can increase your overall bench press because you're coming to that hard point with more power. Does that make sense? So that's what we're trying to aim for. When I say leg drive, I'm trying to get you to drive and provide more power, whole body to be able to drive that bar. Bench pressing really is a whole body activity. And you'll find, after today, if you guys are doing it right, that your backs and your legs are gonna be a little bit sore, and it'll feel a little weird because we're not doing back.
I definitely felt the bar was lower on my body during that.
Good.
I felt it down here, like when I was pressing. Normally, like when you lift with your shirt off, you'll see where the bar, that like the neural links touch, and you see that red spot. Like I definitely felt it down here, like below my sternum, which was abnormal for me.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You ready to give it a try, Mike? Focusing on getting high up on those shoulders, and we're focusing on stabilizing those feet before we unrack the weight this time. So get those feet off that bench because you're gonna move them anyway. There you go, nice and tight. Big breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. 7, 8, drive. 9, leg drive. 10. That set was remarkably better than your first set.
Yeah.
Would you, like, how did it feel this set versus the first?
Definitely just try to bang them out as quick as possible to like keep my mind focused from the set. So if I slow down, I felt like I was just gonna go back to old habits, kept my feet planted and drove with my legs.
Now, how's the breathing feel? So I know that I talked about trying to hold the breath. How's that feel for you being kind of the first time that you've been doing that? What are your experience?
It's definitely different. So it adds that extra layer of oh shit factor.
Yeah?
So, but it feels good.
Yeah? You feel by holding the breath you can deliver more power?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Same thing with you?
Yeah. I think it's almost like a mental factor.
Yep.
It's like a do or die type feeling. Like, that's for me.
Gonna hit that fight or flight?
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot of flight. All right, so we came in for a workout. You guys asked me for a little bit of help and just kind of wanted to see how I do things, and we're asking more specifically for some bench stuff. But then we ended up kind of running through an entire workout. So I just want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of talk about maybe something specifically that I said to you and how those things in terms of bench or whatever, what the effect was or how you felt about that. Kind of me imparting some of my training strategy and whatever, and what just generally what you guys think.
I know so personally for me, the stacking, when you set up yourself and lift your butt off the bench and stack yourself, because I'm thinking bench, I lift every day, I should be fine. Chest maybe a little gas, but I started noticing like my second set, my back started cramping. Like that, like the almost interior portion of my lats were cramping. And then driving with my legs, that's something that, yeah, I make sure I'm firmly planted, but I don't really drive. And then setting for my final like gassed out sets, like setting, and those felt easier than my first couple sets when I wasn't stacked up ready to go. So, and then breathing in with my diaphragm, I was taking a lot of breath in with my chest, and then when I got set, it was all going down, but I felt I was trying to suck in more air, because and then I feel like I lost focus on my sets, and it was just like, I wasn't moving it for a purpose. I was aimlessly trying to get a motion down that it wasn't for a purpose.
I feel like too, it's a lot. I throw a lot at you guys as well. So, all those little bit of critiques or those little cues, those are things that you're not accustomed to seeing or doing on a day-to-day basis. If you try to incorporate all those things into like one session, it's a lot to process. So.
So for me, it was literally like repositioning my body from where I used to, how I was benching to how I bench now. Is it took the tension off my shoulders where I generally try to, when I come down, I lift up, reposition my legs, making sure that I take that deep breath down in my diaphragm versus in my chest. Like you told me earlier, like come up and it puts that tension on my shoulders, so you bring it down into the diaphragm. And then when I started getting tired, putting all that stress to my legs, forcing me to actually drive through each repetition. So between all of that, overall, like I feel if I went in tomorrow or a couple of days after this, I could do more weight than we just did.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it improved not only muscle memory and then overall weight.
Yeah. Especially in mechanics, feel like you have a little bit more power to deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just something for you guys at home to think about. Like, I've said it before, but subtle changes, they can make a really big difference. And, this was a really great opportunity for me, among, other NCOs. You guys reach out to me and kind of ask me for some feedback, and just to be able to see the changes that can be implemented in just in one session.
Right.
Yeah. And then guys, just to kind of finish things out, I know that we ended up going through kind of the full workout for what I normally do. Like, what did you guys think of that, the stuff that I've kind of thrown at you, and in comparison to maybe some of the things that you normally do or think about?
So I'm gonna go with your Arbic press.
Yeah.
Never done that before, and I think that also helps into that mechanics piece where it just beats in how you actually should be benching. So up here, it just keeps driving that factor home, and you also get a good pump there in the chest and the shoulders.
Yeah.
I know personally for me, that was the jam press.
Mm-hmm.
That was something the way I envisioned it after I finished my first set is you're locked down all the way down from your bottom of your press.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the same initial press from up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know, just firing, it's like focusing extremely heavily on those tricep, that press, not really a pull or a tricep pull down, actually getting a good pressing motion.
Yeah, I like that a lot better and felt it more engaging the actual entirety of the tricep muscle than say a shoulder.
Right. Especially when you keep those levels in.
Right.
Yeah. So I know that we're talking about some of the additional stuff that we did on the workout here, and I didn't film that just because we were kind of moving through and talking as we go. But really, all the same stuff that I showed them is a lot of the same things that you guys have seen in my bench training workouts. The same type of accessory work. So we did the feet up bench. We did some jam press. We did a little bit of tricep work. We did some shoulder work. We did the Arbic press. Then we kind of finished things out with a little bit of bicep work. And so just kind of going down the list of items that are there to support the bench, kind of from most important to least important. It's the same stuff that you guys have seen. But I wanted to kind of expose them to that to see what they thought. And it was a lot of fun. So I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to attempt to help. I'm glad that some of the things that I've kind of given, at least from what you said, have made somewhat of an impact. And that's stuff that you guys can kind of implement as you go forward. And then also, most importantly, have the opportunity to be able to impact soldiers going forward. So like you guys see people, you can make some of those tweaks and be able to see some improvement in their movements as well. Because I think that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, whether you're in service or not, you put a barbell in somebody's hands and get them stronger, good things happen. I think everyone can benefit from being just a little bit stronger. So I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to help you out. It means a lot to me.
No worries, thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right. Anyway, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I appreciate you guys continuing to support me and the channel with the likes, the shares, and the subs. If you guys know people that I don't that might be interested in this kind of stuff, turn them on to the channel. I appreciate them a lot. Remember, guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, make some small tweaks and increase your bench press in just one day. You got to get in, train despite. You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. And I hope that you guys continue to find a way. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.